E-Ray Taronic here, Master Weaver of Mystery Suspense Thrillers, as well as broadcaster of Astrology. Here to bring you your daily astrological update for Saturday, July 26, 2025. Should you need to utilize my services for natal chart analysis, tarot card readings, freelance writing services, or video synopsis, I can be reached at mentalchattermusings@gmail.com. Don't forget to download, purchase, review Vanish within the anthology. You get one story with 7 different endings crafted by 7 different authors, and we'd love to hear what you think, so check it out. To sign up for my monthly newsletter, you can find the link in the comment section on my YouTube channel or within the astrology post that goes out on my Facebook page every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Let's go ahead and get into the astrology. Okay, Pluto is still retrograde in Aquarius at 2 degrees, sextiling Neptune in Aries today. This ushers in an opportunity or a transformation related to friends, goals, or social groups. This can be something you were waiting for or determined to get, or you have placements between 0 and 5 degrees of Aquarius, Aries, Sagittarius, and Gemini. You're privy to these energies. Under these energies, one can be determined, resilient, generous, fiery, and honest. This is an opportunity to overcome suffering, separations, or poverty. With fortitude and solace offered by devoted friends, one can pull themselves together and successfully rebuild a life of happiness and prosperity. One may seek out peace and harmony and attract friends who are willing to assist. Sensual accesses and passions are noted here. Do know while this can be happening anytime today, it's more likely to happen tonight when the moon shifts to 2 degrees. That's when this transit will really hit. Okay, let's go along to another transit. This is going to be a 1 hour and 45 to 1 hour and 50 minute transit by 11:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The moon in Leo at 27 degrees will be trining Chiron in Aries. Where you have placements between 24 and 29 degrees of Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, you're affected by these energies. Now here, healing is ushered in as a blessing. The moon will also be squaring Lilith retrograde in Scorpio, which means effort is required or a challenge is posed where you have placements between 24 and 29 degrees of Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. Now, under these energies, one can be kind, pleasant, exuberant, gifted, generous, happiness, and peaceful situations can be ushered in here. Ambitions can be fulfilled. Another partnership can blossom. Wealth can be had. Talents and generosity attracts kind. Well, you exhibiting your talents and generosity can attract kind friends and those willing to reciprocate that kindness. A female can play a significant role here. One may also protect or be beneficial in some way for you. Okay. Now, as I said, the moon will also be square to Lilith retrograde in Scorpio. So this means effort is required or a challenge is posed where you have placements between 24 and 29 degrees of Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. You can be dealing with someone who is intelligent, crafty, and stingy. This indicates someone can be a crook or even a thief. Anything acquired through reprehensible means will be lost or stolen sooner or later. For some, their life seems to be plagued with violence, dishonesty, or accidents in general. So just be mindful with, who you're dealing with. You could also be just healing circumstances around even dealing with someone like this. So while those healing and blessings are coming in, on the other end, there is that square going on also. Now, that's for, an hour and 45 minutes. Now, anyway, by 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the sun will shift to 4 degrees of Leo, where it will stay for 24 hours. Okay. I'll make sure I add that in. Where you have placements between 1 and 7 degrees, you're affected by these energies. And under these energies, one can be cautious, greedy, competitive, intellectual, and envious. Something can be solved, deciphered, or figured out under these next 24 hours. One does not hesitate to be dishonest to protect their personal interests as well. Successful circumstances are not outstanding unless you have beneficial placement. So these energies can be tricky unless you like trying these energies. Just, be mindful of how you're acting, how other people are acting, who you're dealing with, and, things of that nature. Now, Sagittarius and Aries placements are where you'll see the blessings as it pertains to your image, education, skills, long distance travel, your philosophy, your knowledge that you hold, and things of that nature. Gemini and Libra placements in your chart between that 1 and 7 degrees is where you'll receive the assistance and or opportunities. Either they'll be granted to you or you'll be receiving them. And those involve a partnership, relationship, siblings, short distance travel, neighbors, neighborhoods, your locale, or simply someone in your networks of people. Aquarius placements between that 1 and 7 degrees directly oppose these energies. So as it pertains to friends, goals, or social groups, you could be dealing with, or you are being, competitive, intellectual, greedy, cautious, dishonest, things of that nature. You could be deciphering something or figuring something out, solving a riddle or something like that. Scorpio and Taurus placements in your chart where you have placements between 1 and 7 degrees is where you'll have to put in the effort, or that's where the challenge is posed in your chart as it pertains to your wealth, your worth, your resources, your finances, shared finances, passion, sex, endings, new beginnings, and things of that nature. I'm glad I don't have those placements. Anyway, moving along to Capricorn and Pisces placements between 1 and 7 degrees. That is where fate and karma is playing out in your chart. And that deals with career, things you master, secret sacrifices, being in your solitude, and things of that nature. Cancer and Virgo placements are the areas where you have to go for or initiate assistance or opportunity. So you might want to tap into your competitiveness if you have placements in Cancer or Virgo between 1 and 7 degrees. You'll be initiating things as it pertains to home and family, your work, your health, your daily routines, where you are of service to other people and things of that nature. Okay? And that's going on for the next 24 hours, these energies. Now, back to a 1 hour and 45 minute transit. By 4:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Virgo at 0 degree will square Uranus in Gemini, where you have placements between 0 and 3 degrees of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces. You're affected by these energies. This ushers in a sudden or unexpected challenge, or you'll have to put in sudden effort. Under these energies, one may have to work on being more sociable, pleasant, orderly, patient, loyal, and focused. Be mindful of your actions, have patience, and don't overdo it. Some can have sudden issues with their health, especially if you're overeating, over drinking, or overindulging in general, or if you have been. Okay, so just be mindful. You don't want to get sick out of nowhere, catch something out of nowhere. Okay, this pertains to not only overeating or over drinking, but sensual excesses too. Because I think, hold on, let me see. Okay, no, those aren't retrograde. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Making sudden decisions and, within this hour and 45 minutes, putting yourself in a sudden situation and it affects your health in some way. Okay. Some can also be suddenly tasked to adjust to a certain circumstance, but it's important to respect others. If sudden work or effort is required, success can be had in career, especially dealing with youth or circumstances around children. Just remember to be patient. If something just pops up, around your child, or you have to, handle something. Be mindful of driving around in traffic too. Be patient because you don't want to get into an accident or have a road rage incident. Some relationships may not be harmonious, but that's what you're needing to work on, even if that has to do with a child or a sibling. Due to one's qualities or professional merits under these energies, one can attract genuine friends and powerful protectors. Life can unfold happily and prosperously, but it's going to take effort. Okay? Nothing's for you. Just don't get things just for free. You have to put in effort. Okay? Now, here's another 1 hour and 45 minute transit. Just after 6:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Virgo at 1 degree will make a fated yet karmic aspect to Saturn retrograde in Aries. So where you have placements between 0 and 4 degrees of Virgo and Aries, you're affected by these energies. And this pertains to a restriction or a responsibility that is placed on you. Okay, or already has been placed on you, being that the planets are retrograde. Under these energies, one can be honest, stable, serious, brave, showy, and generous. Precise thinking is noted here, like analytical thinking. Success can be had in careers that relate to the sciences or the arts. Just be mindful because you or someone you're dealing with can be fine 1 minute, then cold the next minute. And that makes it harder to communicate with them. Or maybe you're that way. Oh yeah, I said that because you or someone. Okay. Also, if you're prone to being passive or sticking to routine, it can cause delays. It's important to be resilient, organized, confident, and even patient. But don't just rest on your laurels. One may be tasked to stand up for their opinion or what they want, but not brutally impose your beliefs on someone else. Setbacks can crop up if you're too rigid. Success can be had in occupations involving medicine, fairness, and also religion. Okay, let's move to the last 1 hour and 45 minute transit that I want to talk about. By 8:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Virgo at 2 degrees will make a fated yet karmic aspect to Neptune retrograde in Aries and Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Okay, where you have placements between 0 and 5 degrees of Aries, Aquarius, and Virgo, you're affected by these energies. I'm sorry, 1 second. Okay, now this pertains to a dream, a desire, and things being transformed in general. You may have waited for this. Under these energies, one can be hardworking, patient, pragmatic, practical, fiery, honest, generous, determined, and even resilient. Here, one is prepared to reach out to one who is deprived in order to alleviate their suffering. One also seeks out peace and harmony, which will attract friends who are willing to assist. After a time of putting out continuous effort, success or better circumstances are here. Sensuality or sensual excesses are also noted here. There has been suffering or a separation, but with fortitude and assistance offered by devoted friends, one can pull themselves together and successfully rebuild a life of happiness and prosperity. Thank you for sticking around for the daily astrological update, and I'll check back with you guys on next Tuesday. Bye now.